Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. This is a Sunday night edition, and also don't forget, we have a Tuesday night show, 8:10, 9:10, and goes my screen going in and out. Joe Fox, good to see you, buddy. Cindy Mitch. Oh, Miss Fat Girl, good to see you, and of course, Kevin. Now, for people that are listening to Canada, and you happen to look at the show, I think I'm dressed up as Canadian tonight. With like my red shirt. I wonder, tell me, guys, ladies and gents from Canada, do I look like a Canadian? I don't know. You know, I was thinking that right before I started the show. I wonder if them boys. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Do I look like a lumberjack from Colombia? I meant from Canada. I wonder. I'd like to have opinions on it. Again, I want to welcome you to the Sunday night edition of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. I want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. And don't forget, right after my show, then it comes Don't Whistle at Night with Mr. Dawn and Darren Yazzie. And their guests tonight are the She Squatchers. Now, I never heard of them before. Hey, Gary, good to see you. So Dawn and Darren Yazzie's Don't Whistle at Night, their guests tonight will be the She Squatchers. Okay? And Cruz, I hope I pronounced the name correctly, and Jenna Grover, they are the She Squatchers. So that could be seen like a very, very good, interesting show. You see a lot. You don't really see too many female squatcher people out there that you know, do a lot of groups that who are squatchers, and there's a lot of women in it. So, I'd like to hear what they have to say tonight. But to get to the topic, Okay? Yesterday was Valentine's Day. Did everybody have a good time? I worked, and I was on my podcast, the chat last night. So no, I didn't do nothing good. Well, I did something good. I was on, doing the chat and working. So it seems to be working since I'm still alive, which is good for now. Who knows? I don't know. Tomorrow, isn't a promise, and yesterday is the past. So all I have is today, right now, this hour, with my dear friends watching. Yeah, I know it's the internet, Gary. Sorry about that. My internet's really bad. I don't know what happened. Reason we're breaking up. I truly, truly apologize for that, and it's going to happen all through the night. So everybody, ask me, how was your Valentine's Day? Did you get candy, Vet? Hey, Heidi, good to see you, my dearest, bestest friend in the whole wide world. Good to see you. Thank you for popping in. So I just want to know, is the Valentine's Day aura still hanging around? Are they getting Valentine roses and Valentine candy and little notes or cards from Hallmark, which are not a sponsor of my show, Worldwide World? Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, Heidi. Yes. And are they doing that? Or did it go down the pooper? Because it seems to me, okay, I want to go back. Now, I'm kind of old. About 20 years ago. Hey, Joni, good to see you, hon. And you know what? I know about 20. Hey, Eli, you know, I would like to know. I know 20, 25 years ago, when I was a youngster, that's funny, that people were really into giving gifts on Valentine's Day. They really were. And I remember, a while back, you miss making Valentine mailboxes. Joni, you are so correct. Valentine candy is 50% off. And Bet says she got her phone tonight, so came hang out with you. I'm glad you did, Miss Bet. But I remember 20, 25 years ago when I was when I started, working as a meat cutter. And I remember watching these youngsters, these young guys in their 20s, early 30s, and they'd be standing at the meat counter. This is true stories, man. And they would be standing there and they would be like all confused. You could see the confusion on their faces. Okay. And knowing me and being me, I would go up to them. I said, are you trying to figure out what you want to cook your girlfriend or your wife for Valentine's Day? And they did it with humility. They said, yes, they were saying, I don't know what we're going to be doing. I don't know how to cook. I don't even know what to buy. So what I did was I pointed out the strip steaks, the boneless strip steaks, pointed it to them, and then I got them to get, the flowers, the candy. Hey, what's up, Stephen, Mr. Wojo? Good to see you. Long time, buddy. Kevin says, I recall passing out cards in elementary school to everyone in the class. Be mine, etc. Too funny, yes. Joe Fox said, let's see what Joe had to say. I still remember Valentine's Day in grade school. They were awesome days for some memories for a lifetime. Yes, I do too, man. It was great because, man, we'd go out and I had a big class. So we had to get like 50 freaking uh, Valentine's Day's cards, you know, And then you write your name out, and you pass them out in class, and you were hoping to get a nice Valentine from the girl that, but kind of like you liked, and maybe she was like you. And all I know is that it was a lot of fun. Hey, Joel. Yes, we can. Okay, I will do that on Discord. The butterflies those girl gave me. Yes, Joe, the butterflies they did. And then it's funny because usually when I was in grade school, they would have a Valentine's dance for the seventh and eighth graders. Oh my gosh, I remember getting dressed up, putting on aftershave cologne, and I never shaved in eighth grade. Dressed to the T's. I mean, I was looking good, and go to the dance, hanging out with my buds, and we would stand on one side of the room, and the girls would stand on the other side of the room, and no one would dance. It was funny, but it was good times. It was a bunch of good times. But if anybody can, again, I'm going to bring up this question. Okay, is Valentine's Day like it was 20 some years ago? Heidi says, "Oh, I'm sorry, hon. I'm sorry that you're sad, but sending healing energy to you. In fact, everybody out there listening to the show, please, please, please send some healing energy to Miss Heidi. Send her some happy energy. I don't know if I was a dapper fellow, buddy. I don't, I don't know. You're welcome, Heidi. I don't think so, man. I was like, um, I don't know. Maybe I was. I don't know. But those were the good old days. So if anybody wants to come up with an answer for me, I would surely appreciate it. Is Valentine's Day still like it was 20 years ago? Hey, Marketti, good to see you, buddy. Well, that's why I came up with the topic today. Um, how did Valentine's Day started? Does anybody out there right now in the chat room or anybody in the 160 different countries that listen to my show on Sunday and Tuesday nights? Does anyone have an idea how it started? Well, of course, I went to my AI and I did Google it and went to AI and Heidi says, I do believe many changes from today's from many years ago. Joe says, nope, no idea. Well, as I was, doing some research on Valentine's Day, how it started, it wasn't pleasant, dudettes, dudes. It wasn't. Um, Heidi says that she's curious about it, but it wasn't pleasant. It was bad. It was crazy. Hmm. Hey, Donna, good to see you. So, the first thing I Google, yeah, that too. But yeah, that wasn't really nice. But that the Saint Valentine's Day massacre, a bunch of poo poos. Oh yeah. Okay, everyone's thinking all these crazy thoughts about the Saint Valentine's Day massacre. No, not at all. So the first thing that I researched or Googled up was there actually a Saint Valentine? And guess what? Yes, there was. There was actually a dude, Saint Valentine. And Saint Valentine was a real third century Roman martyr recognized by the Catholic Church. There were Valentine's Day in my past where I wanted to shove that bow right up Cupid's ass. Okay, that's funny, Joe. but I feel for you. Though details of his life are murky and likely blended from at least two different men, he was a priest or bishop killed around 270 AD. While the exact history is obscure, he is associated with love and is, check this out, guys, ladies and gents, he is the patron saint of lovers, epilepsy, and beekeepers. So if there are any beekeepers out there listening to the show, um, he's your patron saint. I thought that was like really, really cool. Beekeepers. And I'm going to do a show on the different patrons, the Satan patrons, saint patrons, or whatever. But the key details about St. Valentine, um, historical identity records indicate that there may have been at least two, potentially three different men named Valentine or Valentinus who were martyred in Italy on February 14. Oh gosh, bees I can't deal with, insects I can, but that's okay. I will face my fears and I'll go into a wasp nest. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. I'll tell you about bees. I'm telling you, you know what's one are the bad bees? The bad bees are the ones that are in the ground. Welcome back, vet. And I remember I accidentally ran over their hive with a lawnmower, and oh my god, there was like a swarm, no shit, a swarm of them. Okay, and they didn't attack me, but they were attacking the lawnmower. Yes, the lawnmower. They weren't attacking me. Craziness. But this is what I kind of don't understand because it was removed from the calendar. The Roman Catholic Church removed him from the general Roman calendar in 1969 due to the lack of reliable, specific information, though he remains a recognized saint. Why the hell would the church want to do that for? Because there was no history behind this Valentine, this priest or whoever he was. Oh, you're funny, Kev. Be mine. Oh my gosh. But no, that's kind of ridiculous. I think, I really don't want to get into religion on my show because it's not the right place or time to do it. Okay, maybe one day I'll have a special where I don't get everybody into trouble and whoever wants to listen can listen to it. But I do have a problem with the Roman Catholic Church. I really do. And I'm not going to get into it. The legends, the most common legends suggest he was a priest who now this is like really, really cool. Okay. He was a priest who defied Emperor Claudius II by marrying couples in secret to spare men from war. Another story suggests he was imprisoned and signed a letter to his jailer's daughter, from your Valentine. And I do believe he healed the jailer's daughter. She was blind, but he actually killed her. And I'm sure I'll read that again down the road here tonight. So I thought that was like really, really cool. And the patronage, he is a patron saint of lovers, engaged couples, beekeepers, and those suffering from epilepsy. Now, here's my question, and maybe somebody out there could answer it for me. But how do the different saints? We all do a bunch of Catholics here growing up, but that's true, Kevin. But who says that Saint Valentine is the patron saint? Who gives what these patron saints are all about? I really want to do a show on it because it's kind of like, who told them they were the patron saints? Did they know they were patron saints before they died? I don't know. Do not know. Although associated with romance, the historical figure was honored primarily as a martyr who died for his faith. With the romantic courtly love, not Courtney love, courtly connections appeared much later during the Middle Ages, according to the conversation and the history. So, St. Patrick, yeah, I don't know, driving the snakes out of Ireland, and everyone knows damn well that there are no snakes in Ireland. So, I'll just leave it up in the air for that, what he drove out. Actually, he didn't drive no snakes out. What he did was he was sent into Ireland to try to convert Druids, pagans, into Christianity. That's what it was all about. But you know what? I did a show on St. Patrick, and he was a pretty cool dude. He was. But we are at the bottom of the hour, and it's time for the 2-3-minute break. So everybody, please go out, have a cigarette, get a cup of coffee, go to the bathroom, do what you got to do. And I will definitely see you in a couple minutes.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Stop this conversation. We got no relation.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, and to the second part of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. I am on Sunday nights and Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget that Mr. Don and Darren Yazzie, they have their podcast, Don't Whistle at Night, is on right after mine. And their guests tonight are the She Squatchers. The She Squatchers. And that's Jen Cruz and Jenna Grover. Ah, thank you, Heidi. Janet Helbig, good to see you, hon. Long time. Oh my goodness, girl. How you been? I hope all's well. How's Randy doing? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen Janet or talked to Janet in a long time. Thank you, Kevin. So in the first half, thank you, Vet. Now, in the first half of the show, we were talking about Saint Valentine. And he was a priest or bishop who secretly married men and women under, so they wouldn't have to go to war. And that was Claudius II, who was the emperor. And his theory was that single men make better warriors. Well, I'm glad you guys are good. And so there was definitely a St. Valentine's. Now, since we're in the second part of the show, okay, it gets a little bit more juicier. That girl says they gave me my pill, so I'm loopy. I apologize in advance. Hate this crap. Don't worry about it, Vet. You're loved here. Your family here. You're welcomed here. Don't worry about it. Now, Valentine's Day, the origin of paganism. Okay. Don't go there, Kevin. You're making me laugh. Valentine's Day has its roots in the ancient Roman festival of Lupercalia, a mid-February, February 13th through the 15th, fertility celebration dedicated to Thanes, the god of agriculture and Rome's founders. It involved animal sacrifices, with priests whipping women with hides to ensure fertility. Hey, my brother Don. There he is, Mr. Don Yazzie, my bro. His show comes on next. Don't whistle at night. But listen to this. And remember I told you it gets creepier. It wasn't too pleasant. It involved animal sacrifices with priests whipping women with hides to ensure fertility. The church later replaced this with St. Valentine's Day. The key aspects of pagan origin, Lupercalia, this Roman festival focused on purification and fertility to welcome spring. How in the hell can a priest go whipping a woman just to get fertile? That's insane. Maybe in today's it's BDSM, I don't know. But that's sick. That's sick. The rituals, priests, they're called luperci, Luperci, sacrificed goats for fertility. This is sick. And dogs for purification. Strips of the hide were used to gently strike women in crop fields to encourage fertility. Dawn says Kokopelli was a fertility deity as well, aka water sprinkler. Thank you. That girl, you're sick. That girl's sick. Whip 'em good. Ain't that a song? Yes, it is a song, and it was sung by Devo. But oh my God, to go around and beating women for fertility back in them days. Oh my God, that's sick. It's sad. I don't know. Jeez. No, Kevin and V are really, really hard, trying real hard to make me laugh. So it's real hard for me to concentrate. And when it's hard for me to concentrate, that's why I got my AI here. This AI is helping me out a little bit. But that's but being whipped, women being whipped to get fertile. That's crazy. I never heard that until I started looking this up. Matchmaking, a lottery system often paired young men and women for the duration of the festival, which is February 13th through February 15th. And sometimes leading to marriage. Dawn says, that's wild. I want to be a priest. Be careful, Dawn. Cocapelli might just come after your ass. Yeah, he make you drinking that pumpkin spice. Yes. So I can see the matchmaking, a lottery system. Now I can see that. I can see, you know, lining men, boys and girls, or men and women, lining them up, and if you get a lottery number and you get picked, and it's like, oh, see, there's a lot of laughter, but I could see that happening. Okay. That girl says, hey, listen up, Sean. I need to make you laugh to apologize for missing all your shows. I don't. It's okay. I'm just glad. I haven't laughed in a long time. It's been a rough month. Um, but but why don't we do that today? Not the whipping of women to get fertile, but to have like a matchmaking, a lottery system to hook up with a woman. Get 30 people, get 15 guys, 15 girls, and do the lottery system. I won't read that comment, buddy. and and see how that goes. Because dating in today's age is so damn hard, from what I understand. You know, I don't know. It's like at my age right now, I'm happy and content where I'm at. Really, really am. So a lot of, oh, come on, Kevin. A lot of orgy. Nah. I'm just saying, have a lottery system, and match up with a girl and spend 2 days with them, see where it goes from there. I think that would be like really, really cool. It really would be. And transformation. In the late 5th century, Pope Gelasius, Gelasius, replaced Lupercalia with St. Valentine's Day, shifting the focus from pagan rituals to a Christian feast. But since they did that, right, 1969, the Catholic Church took it off the calendar, but everybody still celebrates St. Valentine's Day. And it's just like craziness. But I'm glad I wasn't living back when, Valentine's Day was a pagan issue where they would whip women for fertility. That's just not right. The evolution, while some scholars debate, and they're debating the direct connection, it is believed the church sought to Christianize the existing pagan celebration. And that's what the Catholicism did. That's what Christianity did. Every holiday the pagans had, um, Christianity had to come in and try to make it their own celebration. Why February 14th? I do not know, sir. Kevin, that's a good question. Why February? Well, you know what? If they say that it was back between February 13th through the 15th, maybe they took the 14th right down the middle. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I could come up with. That's the only conclusion I could actually come up with there, buddy. But that's a good question. Modern Valentine's Day is known for romantic love. Origins were deeply tied to agriculture and productive rituals in ancient Rome tradition. Oh, you want me to ask AI? I will do that. I will ask AI right now. Why is Valentine's Day on February 4th? The holiday, as we know, is probably started in the mid 17th century, England, as a way to celebrate spring. All right, hush up, hush up, hush up. Oh man, why don't you just be quiet? So the holiday, as we know, probably started in the mid 17th century, England, as a way to celebrate spring, the outlet added. However, some also believe the holiday dates back further and it is rooted in a Catholic feast day from 496 AD, held in February to honor the execution of St. Valentine, the patron saint of lovers. You're welcome, Kevin. Not a problem. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys that they actually they decapitated the Saint Valentine. You know, and that's what made him a martyr, I do believe. And so there you go, my friend. Oh, you're welcome. But I don't know why did they put Christmas December 25th when we know the birth of Jesus was probably back in April? Michelle said I did a speed dating thing at a coffee shop. Turns out I did not connect with anyone. My energy was on point. I wasn't feeling it. And there you go. And I have noticed this with a lot of empaths, a lot of energy workers. Okay. Um, that our energy, it was fun, would I do it again? No. But our energies are really leveled up. Okay. And either A, the person is scared of us, or B, okay, they don't know how to deal with our energies. But in the reverse side, anybody and when I speak this, I do not speak this from egotistical bullshit. I just speak the truth. Okay, seriously. Um, but we also cannot be on. If we cannot be on the same wavelength, you know, than others, then it will never work out. It will never work out. Now I've seen people out there who are really high spiritually motivated or who are really in tune. But you know what the sad thing about it is? That they have egos. They have egos. Well, look at me. I can go around and I can read your mind. I know what you're thinking, blah, blah, blah. I can go kick spirits' butt, blah, 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 the whole nine yards. And they have egos when they show off their energies. And what was taught to me a very, very long time ago was you can't have an ego in this business. You can't. Because once you get that ego and you're like thinking and telling everybody that you're the best, either God or spirit is going to make you pay for that. He's going to make you pay. No one's above anybody else when it comes to spiritual work. Now, we are on different levels. and I am on a high level, and so are a lot of people I know on a high level. But the good ones don't go and broadcast it. Kevin, I swear to God, I'm going to get you. Hey, Heidi, do me a favor. All right. Smack Kevin upside the head. Or V. We'll get V to do it. V. Smack him upside the head. But I'm laughing. I'm happy. Heidi says, I believe as empath, I attracted toxicity to help me understand my soul and its journey. I like that. I like what you just said there. And I'm sure we all did that. Um, we do attract it. We attract a lot of negativity. We also toxicity. It's like babies love us. People want to tell us their life stories, you know. And for a long time, I listened. He's making me laugh. That he's making me laugh. He said, "Cupid that." He said, "Cupid that." Made him laugh. Yeah, but uh, but we can't do that. You you want to work with spiritual work. You want to work with light energies. You have to be humble. You have to help you have to be humble. You just can't go around and saying you're the best energy worker ever. You just can't do that because you will get burnt in the long run. You will. Absolutely. To know the Heidi says to know the dark to be able to see the light. That is true, but here's my question to you, Heidi, on that. How long do we have to be in the dark? How long do we have to be in the dark in order to see the light? Now, also, if we see the light while we're in the dark, okay, how do we know as we get to the light that we're not going to fall back into the dark again? I like my guides, I know my guides are great. My angel's awesome. My wolf is awesome. Not long if you have a flashlight. Uh, she said maybe not to be in the dark, but to know about the dark. Okay, alrighty. But sometimes, and I do go back into the dark again. It's not because I want to go back into the dark, but sometimes when life gets a little bit too kosher, too easy for me, then I find myself going back into the dark. And it isn't so much, I can feel the ego coming on, just as spirit sees the ego coming on, right? And so spirit puts me back into that dark space again. But now when I go back into the dark space, I know my guides are there protecting me. So it makes life a lot bit more easier. I'm not there's not a lot of fear inside me. But you know what? We're good people, you know, and we're still human and we're going to still make mistakes and we're still going to say, yeah, I know, you know, we make mistakes and we are going to have some egos here and there. They say, love your neighbor, don't hate them. They say, love your enemy, don't hate them. I believe that because I do believe in karma, you know, that if you hate somebody that much, that's going to come back on you. Okay, Kevin says tap into it, but don't stay there. Invite guides. Light agree, Sean. Feel it, process it, let it go. Exactly, Heidi. I like Heidi's comment there. Feel it, process it, let it go. Joni says, welcome the stranger. Yes. I know you had to. I'm not. That's okay, Kev. It's all good. It's all good. But my last thing on St. Valentine's Day, I hope everyone had a good one. And there's always next year. And see what happens then. That is true, Heidi. Easier said sometimes than done. And I hope everybody got flowers and I hope everybody got cards. And I hope everybody had a good time. Joe Fox, are you still in the room? Because it's time to pull the card tonight. So everybody, you know, the last 3 or 4 shows I've been pulling one card. Okay, pulling one card for everybody. And I think tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 3 cards. How's that? I'm going to pull. No, you know what? No. Cards and candy. No, I'm just going to keep it like it is. I'm going to draw one card, and then we're going to go from there. Damn, Kevin, you are on a roll tonight, buddy. I tapped into the energy. Okay, bud. Kevin says, I tapped into the energy like I did with Friday the 13th is all I did. No, just one card tonight, Kev. Just one night of card again. But here, Joe's here, so what's going to happen? I'm going to draw a card. And Joe, my dear friend, is going to post up the meaning, the spiritual meaning behind the card, and I will read it to you. Okay. And hopefully the card that I pulled tonight, hey, Deborah Lynn, good to see you. And the card I pulled for you tonight will help you on your journey starting this week. See how far it takes you. Don't forget, I'm going to also pull one on Tuesday. So you're going to have 2 animals from the animal medicine deck. That's going to, hopefully it helps you through the week. Not all cards are for everybody, but have an open mind about it. Okay, so I got done shoveling. Okay, see everybody shoveling. I'm cutting it once, cutting it twice, cutting it 3 times. And today's card is, ready, Joe? Guess what, guys? We got the porcupine again. That was pulled on the last show. The porcupine. Now, there's a reason why the porcupine was picked back then. Kevin says it sure does help when we can tap into the animal power. Yes. Yeah, but check that out. I just pulled the porcupine. And I shuffled them good and I cut them prickly. But so what you do, okay, is, when Joe puts up, the thing, I will read it to you, okay. If it doesn't come up, if Joe's having, okay, here it is. Joe Fox says, he wrote, the porcupine as a spiritual animal symbolizes protection, innocence, and the importance of being true to oneself. It encourages you to let go of guilt and criticism from others reminding you to embrace joy and set healthy boundaries. Yeah, we did pull it neck last week, Joe. That's why I guess nobody really paid attention to it. I love that too, Heidi. But let me read it again for people. The porcupine as a spirit animal symbolizes protection, innocence, and the importance of being true to oneself. It encourages you to let go of guilt and criticism from others, reminding you to embrace joy and set healthy boundaries in your life. In the short term, love yourself. Don't care what other people think. And while you're loving yourself, protect yourself. Uh, thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Heidi. But it is at the witching hour, and it's pretty close to the time where Dawn and Darren and Yazzie are going to have the she squatchers on. And go to hell, Kevin. Don't coil them. Oh my God. Um, their guests are the she squatchers, Jen Krause and Jenna Grover. So right after my show tonight, please feel free. Please just go over, give them some love. And when you go into the rooms, just tell them Sean sent you. Children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents, if you have no children, find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those three words, I love you, go a long way. And on that note, good night, everybody. Thank you for stopping by, and we will see you Tuesday night.